So here, the author is Clemens, and then I put the author's name in the writing, in the sentence, and then I've got the brackets for the year and the page number. Clemens says that Taranvarg, quote, is an undefined, unused, indeterminate urban space in a state of expectancy. So those words there, they were written by Clemens. And I show that by having the quote marks. So they are saying that this was written by that person. We just leave them in black, of course. Now this way is what we call we have the author's name in the sentence, but it's also possible that it could be like this. So I could say Taranvarg is an undefined, unused, indeterminate urban space in a state of expectancy. And then I could have the reference like that. So remember, that's what we call the indirect. So you've always got those two options of putting the author's name into the text or into the reference. Usually when we are quoting, it's better to put the author's name into the sentence. When I am paraphrasing, I sometimes put it all into the reference, I put the author's name in the reference, but other times I put it into the sentence. But when you are quoting, it's generally better to have the author's name in the sentence. And when you are quoting, you always want to have the page number. In my essay, I put the page number in all of the time for paraphrasing and quoting, but definitely always for quoting. And if it's coming from a website, and if the website doesn't have a page numbers, you can put para.1 or paragraph 1, 2, 3 or paragraph 3. Okay? So the rules for paraphrasing and quoting are the same, except when we quote, it's the author's exact words and we use the quotation marks. When we are paraphrasing, like this example, we don't have the quote marks. We don't have them because we have written the author's idea in our words. If you're quoting, if you're taking some idea from a Chinese language journal, book, or website, what you can do is write the author's family name in pinyin, and then the same thing, the date and the page number. I don't want you to do direct quote if it's written in Chinese language, because that means you need to translate it. So if it's coming from Chinese language, I want you to paraphrase. That means write the author's idea in your words. So this is an example of a paraphrase, no quotes. This is an example of a quote. If you're read something in Chinese language, and you want to use it in your essay, I want you to use the paraphrase, not the quote. Okay, there are many different situations for this referencing. So we talked about citing several authors at the same time, but there are other situations. And what I want you to do, if this video doesn't answer your questions, I want you to come and see me or send me a message about the reference situation that you don't know how to solve. This video is about the references in the essay. We call them the in-text, in the body of the essay. I will also make a different video about the reference list. These are the same ones, but we give a lot more information. Okay? And I will also show you in the same video as the next one, also show you about the image referencing. But if you have any questions about referencing for the in-text in the body of the essay, you can ask me individually. On Saturday, I will give you the opportunity to check your essay on the plagiarism check, Turnitin. So when you think you have nearly finished your essay, we can check it on Saturday. But remember that even if the best way to avoid plagiarism is to do this referencing properly, not to use the website Turnitin to check. Do it properly the first time and then we can check it. But just remember, every time, especially in the literature review, every time you write about one of the author's ideas, you should reference it. Look at how many references are here. So we have here, 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 and so on. So it should be full of references as well as your own words. This is the same for the project review. You know, we can have many references because we're talking about how people have described the design. But there will also be parts where there are not references, like here. I just noticed it's not really a mistake, but I just noticed something I can change. Here I have a quote by Harrison, so I say her name here. So that part there can actually go there. One last thing, not about referencing, but one last thing, I notice a lot of students' essays look like this. So sometimes there'll be no space, sometimes there'll be too many spaces. So, as you know, it should just be between a word, one space. after a comma, one space. Here, one space. Here, one space. Here, one space. Okay? And you can make sure that you turn on, that you have on the spelling and grammar, so I can see where there's a spelling mistake. These ones, I know the spelling is right. But if I go like this, I know that's a problem. Also, when you're writing this, your language should be on English, not in Pinyin that translates to English, you know, because I think that leads to funny sort of spacing and things like that. Okay, I think that is the video about the basics about the references that we find in your essay for paraphrasing and for quoting. There'll be another video about the reference list at the end of your essay and the image references. Again, if you have a referencing situation that I have not talked about, send me a QQ message explaining it, or come and see me and I can give you the answer.